Welcome to Pukepine, Pukepine. The site where Pukepine sawmills and Pukepine moulding stands today was originally a sawmill founded by Hayward Hooper. In 1998, the Tanner family purchased the existing mill. Our sawmills provides a one-stop shop source of timber products, while our mouldings arm is a remanufacture operation, producing finished products for both the domestic and export market. We pride ourselves on providing quality product with exceptional service, but we can't do it alone. People like you are fundamental to making sure we continue to deliver our high-quality product and service. In this video, we are going to explain what you can expect when working with us, as well as what we expect of you. You may work in different areas of the organisation, including sawmill, Stetson planer, kilns, maintenance departments, resaw, office, dispatch, Pukepine factory, paint shed, and the distribution and treatment centre in Kerepehe. And you may be working as a permanent employee, temp worker, a labour-only contractor, or a service contractor. It doesn't matter what your job is or which of our locations you are working at. The information in this video applies to Pukepine and Pukepine and must be followed by all. Safety is everyone's responsibility. Our health and safety commitment.
Welcome aboard. It's great to have you with us.
Here at Pukepine and Pukepine, we have a focus on health and safety throughout the organisation and value the well-being of every person. Our health and safety philosophy is centred on safe workers, increasing the engagement and knowledge about health and safety across our organisation by everyone who works with us. Safe systems, reviewing and improving our systems regularly and making sure there is clear lines of communication, and safe workplace. Proactively managing our hazards and risks to protect workers from both short and long-term harm. Safety is a key focus in the way we do things around here. So we've created a set of safe rules, which you will learn more about in this video, which are non-negotiable and apply to anyone who comes onto our site. Let's all work together to make sure of a safe environment for all and to allow you to get home safely each night.
Traffic Management Plan TMP. One of our biggest safety risks is traffic, so we take traffic management seriously. Our TMP provides detailed information of activities and processes to make sure of safe movement of traffic, including machinery and people. These rules apply to everyone working on our site. When it comes to traffic management, it is critical we stop, look and listen. Access and right-of-way. Private vehicles are only allowed in designated parking areas, not elsewhere on site. Only authorised vehicles are allowed in operational areas. Mobile machinery, such as forklifts and loaders, and light vehicles and trucks, have right-of-way on site. You must stop and wait for the machinery to move off before proceeding. And remember, always have the driver of the machinery in your sight at all times. Forklifts. Forklifts are operating in most areas. Look out for them and make sure the driver has seen you. Loaders. Loaders are operating on site. Loaders are in the log yard and around the kilns, shavings and bark pad area at the Te Puke site. Stand clear of their work areas whenever possible. Light vehicles and trucks. Light vehicles, log trucks and freight trucks can be in operation on site too, so please be aware of them. Loading zones. Only authorised people can be in a loading zone. If you are not authorised to be there, you must keep clear of loading zones and never take shortcuts through loadout areas. Remember, wherever there is a truck, it means that area is classed as a loading zone. Exclusion zones. Any temporary exclusion zones will be clearly marked, most commonly by cones or tape. When an exclusion zone has been identified, only authorised people involved in that task can be there. All others must keep away from the exclusion zone. With truck loading and unloading tasks, we have a 3-metre exclusion zone between the truck driver and the forklift driver. Site speed limit. Speed limits at sites may differ. Always follow the speed limit signs on the site you are at. Parking. You will need to park in the designated car parking area for the site you're working at. The car parking areas will be shown to you. Gates. We have different numbered gates at the Te Puke site. Please follow the instructions at each gate and only enter and exit from the appropriate gate for the task you are doing. Machine operation. Another of our major safety risks is machine operation. Only people who are site inducted, trained and approved in our safe operating procedures have authority to operate any machinery or equipment on site. Moving machinery and equipment. There is moving machinery and equipment all around the site. At all times, keep body parts out of and away from all moving parts. Look out for pinch points, sprockets and chains. Isolate and lock out all machinery and equipment if required to work on it or to clear a jam. Other risks and hazards. There are other risks and hazards you need to be aware of. These will be shown to you and controls explained to you when you start working with us. Some common risks and hazards include finished product. Always walk well clear of stacks of finished product. Stairs. Walk up and down stairs at a slow, controlled pace, 1 foot at a time. Yard conditions. Mud, dust and uneven surfaces may be present on site. Walk slowly, look in front of you and always wear the appropriate personal protective equipment correctly. Chips and shavings. Small particles may be in the air. Ask your supervisor if you would like a pair of safety glasses. Steam. Always walk around or away from the direct path of steam. And noise. Hearing protection is required in some areas. These will be clearly marked. Authorised only areas. Authorised areas. Due to the nature of our work, some areas are for authorised personnel only. These areas are all clearly marked. If you are not authorised, you are not allowed there. Log yard. The log yard is located behind the sawmill and runs along the back of our site at Te Puke. This is a high-risk area, and for your safety, you are not allowed to enter this area under any circumstance. Only people who have been granted access can enter. Personal protective equipment, PPE. You are required to wear appropriate PPE for your specific area of work and to complete your work tasks. You will be advised of your specific PPE requirements and given PPE during your induction. Before you begin a task, make sure you know what PPE is required and that you are wearing it correctly before you start your task. PPE is not optional. PPE requirements will be listed on the safe operating procedures. Always make sure to inspect your PPE before you use it. If it is damaged or needs to be replaced, please talk to your supervisor. Failure to do so can result in disciplinary action. Common examples of PPE are earmuffs or hearing protection, safety glasses, high-vis clothing, and steel cap boots. Working at heights. Working at heights refers to a place where a person could be injured if they fell from one level to another. Please make sure the correct processes are followed and safety harnesses are worn if you are required to perform a work task at a height. Trained staff members are on site to assist if needed. Emergency procedures. It is important for you to be aware of, understand, and always follow the emergency procedures while working with us. In the event of an emergency, depending on the department you work in, an alarm will sound or your supervisor will tell you to evacuate and provide instructions. You need to stop what you are doing and calmly walk to your nearest assembly area. These are signposted and would have been shown to you by your supervisor or health and safety rep. Wait there until you have been given the all clear by the head warden. First aid. First aid kits are located across the site and in each department. Your supervisor or team leader will show you where your closest first aid kit is and where to find a list of the current first aiders. Reporting of an incident, hazard or near miss. If you have an incident, identify a hazard or have a near miss, It must be reported immediately to your supervisor and/or management by completing the appropriate form. It is important that you do report it, as it allows us to learn from it and take corrective action to stop it happening again. We all need to work together to keep our workplace safe. If emergency services are required, dial 111. Follow any instructions given by the incident controller and/or your supervisor. An incident report must be filled out as soon as possible. Injury management. We have an injury management system for those injured while at work. If you are injured while working, report it immediately, no matter how small the injury. Our intention is to provide best practice injury management services and a supportive workplace to allow for successful rehabilitation and return to work outcomes for all team members following work injury or illness. Drugs and alcohol. We have a zero tolerance policy in regard to the use of drugs and alcohol. This policy means you cannot work while under the influence of drugs and/or alcohol. We conduct random drug and alcohol testing, as well as before you start employment with us. If you want to be considered for an internal transfer, post-incident testing, and when we have reasonable cause to believe you may be under the influence of drugs and/or alcohol. General housekeeping. It is important to be aware of some general housekeeping to make sure a safe working environment is kept. You have a personal responsibility, and we expect you to keep high standards of housekeeping. Make sure walkways are kept clear of obstructions at all times. Tell your supervisor if any need clearing. There are designated staff rooms and toilets, so please use them. You must keep your work area tidy. Pick up any rubbish and put it in suitable bins. Keep floors free of trip hazards. Remember, your environment is a non-smoking environment, so smoking is not allowed on site. You must go off-site to smoke. At the Te Puke site, no smoking is allowed by the railway line, as that is still on site. No personal cell phones or earphones are to be used in operational areas. Contractor management. We have specific processes if you are a contractor. All contractors must report directly to the main office to sign in and sign out while on site during office hours. When arriving on site after office hours, report on arrival directly to the appropriate manager, supervisor, or engineer if available. When leaving the site for short periods through the day, advise the department supervisor or main office. Before you start work on site, you must make sure you have completed all of our contractor management processes. Department-specific inductions. In addition to this video, a department-specific induction will also take place with your supervisor or team leader. The department-specific induction will go into details about the safe operating procedures for you to complete your job. If you have any questions, please ask. Health and safety responsibilities. As an employee or contractor, you must take reasonable care of your own health and safety and make sure that your actions don't cause harm to yourself or others. You must follow any reasonable instructions, policies or procedures on how to work in a safe and healthy way. Failure to do so may result in disciplinary action. Our health and safety commitment means we all need to work together to provide a safe environment for all. If you are ever unsure, please speak up. Our safe rules need to be followed always, no exceptions. These rules apply to all employees and contractors and provide a great summary of key points to keep you and your workmates safe. Always look out for yourself and your workmates. Zero tolerance to drugs and alcohol. Only authorised persons are to enter the site and the authorised access only areas. Report all hazards, near misses, incidents and injuries. Never interfere with safety devices. Vehicles always have right of way around site. Always follow the correct procedures. Always wear the correct PPE. Health and safety requires everyone to play their part. So, please take personal responsibility of your own safety, of those around you, and the environment in which you are working. Let's all get home safe.